Okay, so we are That Lazy Couple.
And today we're going to talk about books that Amazon recommended.
Yeah, so the first one is by Nicola Yoon, and it's called The Sun Is Also a Star. Now, I've read one of, well, we both have, one of her books called Everything, Everything.
Yeah.
Now, I liked it, but...
I had some issues with it.
yeah, so we'll talk about that another time, but one of the books that Amazon recommended us, because I obviously bought that book off Amazon, is The Sun Is Also a Star. So we're going to go to the book description here. And the blurb, which is the back of the book, literally says, the story of a girl, a boy, and the universe.
Wow. Okay. Continue.
A little bit deep, so we'll continue. Natasha. I'm a girl who believes in science and facts, not fate, not destiny, or dreams that will never come true. I'm definitely not the kind of girl that meets a cute boy on a crowded New York City street and falls in love with him. Not when my family's 12 hours...
Wait, I'm going to stop you right there. I'll take a leap of faith and say that's exactly what's going to happen in the book.
Yes.
In the book. Oh dear.
So yeah, not when my family is 12 hours away from being deported to Jamaica. That's a normal thing that everyone can relate to.
Well, I guess loads of people can relate to.
Well, yeah. Falling in love with him won't be my story, but yes it will. Daniel. I've always been the good son, the good student, living up to my parents' high expectations. Never the poet, nor the dreamer. But when I see her, I forget all about that. Something about Natasha makes me think that fate has something much more extraordinary in store for both of us.
Oh well, I'm not really sure what to think about that.
And now we come to the universe. Every moment in our lives has brought us to this single moment. A million futures lie before us. Which one will come true? Sounds very, very deep for a young adult fiction book.
A boy, a girl, they can't be together, they want to be together.
Yes, they will be, so it's the age-old, let's rip off Shakespeare.
Alright, next one.
To be honest, I think I actually will read that book. I just think that you definitely won't.
If he reads that book, we'll do a review for you after that, and then you can compare it to this video. When we do, we're gonna have a link.
So we're gonna go through customers who bought this item also bought. So we've got my least favourite author ever, Jennifer Niven.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Hemingway one day.
Yeah. But she wrote this book called All the Bright Places, which literally messed up my life for a long period of time.
Yeah. This one was such a mess. I didn't want to be part of that, really.
It was single-handedly the worst piece of literature for me to read at that moment in my life.
That's not saying it's a bad book.
It's a very good book.
Yeah.
It's so good that it causes you to have a nervous breakdown.
Something like that.
Anyway, so she's written a book called Holding Up the Universe. I think there's a bit of a theme here.
Yeah, I can see that.
So the product description. Everyone thinks they know Libby Strout, the girl once dubbed America's fattest teen.
Alright, already interested because fancy myself, let's go.
Fat people problems. But no one's taken the time to look past her weight to get to know who she really is. Since her mum's death, she's been picking up the pieces in the privacy of her home, dealing with her heartbroken father and her own grief. They're so pessimistic, these books nowadays.
I'm thinking this author in particularly.
Now, Libby's ready for high school, for friends, for love, and for every possibility life has to offer. Now that bit's in capitals. So, for every possibility that life has to offer.
Intense, okay.
Yes. I know the part I want to play here at MVB High. I want to be the girl who can do anything. Everyone thinks they know Jack Massillin too. Look, we're into Shakespeare again. Yes, he's got swagger, but he's also mastered the art of fitting in. What no one knows is that Jack has a secret. He can't recognise faces.
Oh wow, okay.
I was not expecting that.
This woman likes some deep stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Even his own brothers are strangers to him. It's probably a good thing though, because nobody likes their siblings. He's the guy who can re-engineer and build anything, but he can't understand what's going on with the inner workings of his own brain. So pretty much like every guy then.
Everyone, yeah, okay.
So he tells himself to play it cool, be charming, be hilarious, don't get too close to anyone. Until... you know where this is going, right? Until he meets Libby, when the two get tangled up in a cruel high school game which lands them in group counselling. Libby and Jack are both angry and then surprised. Because the more they spend time together, the less alone they feel. Because sometimes...
well, it's usually like that. Well, not necessarily, I guess.
well, you can feel very, very alone in a group of people, but feel not alone.
But if you spend time with people, you might not feel alone.
Yeah, but only if you like them.
There you go then.
Because sometimes when you meet someone, it changes the world. Theirs and yours.
Oh wow, okay. I'll tell you what, compared to the other book, I want to read this one more, a little bit.
It sounds a lot less, I'm gonna curl up in a corner of my bed.
Not
put
necessarily.
the covers up over my head.
Not necessarily,
and just stay there for 3 weeks.
Especially with her past book that you've read, but...
that's what I'm saying, that one really did make me want to curl up in the bed for 3 weeks and not move. So, customers who also bought Holding Up the Universe ended up buying... let's have a look at this one.
Oh, I've read that one.
This one?
Yeah. For anyone who can't see, we're actually reading on the iPad.
Yeah.
So that's why we're looking down all the time.
But this book is by Jandy Nelson. I'm assuming that's right. Jandy Nelson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Called The Sky is Everywhere. And the front of the book says, I'm supposed to be grieving, not falling in love. When you're grieving for someone, it's the least...
because I've read the book.
It's the worst possible time to fall in love with someone when you're grieving though, right? Because you need that time to get those feelings out.
I guess,
it's not a good basis for a relationship.
I'm not sure it says on the blurb or whatever, but it's worse than that. So keep reading, let's see if it
spoilers
says
though.
I'm not.
And then on the back in a little love heart, it says, look inside to find the beautiful poems Lenny has left for you. So I'm guessing Lenny's the guy.
I think she's a girl.
Lenny's a girl?
Yeah.
Lenny Walker, 17, Wuthering Heights obsessed, clarinet player, band geek, also hopeless romantic, prone to scattering poems all over town, and as of 4 weeks ago, sisterless. Wow. These books really know how to set you up and lead you in and then punch you in the gut.
No, but well, this book from the beginning, it says that she lost her sister. And then, like, as a way of coping, she writes all these poems and leave them around. The book is really beautiful in the sense, like, the way it's constructed. Like, it has the pages that it has the poems and stuff.
Oh, that's the sort of book that I would like.
That's pretty cool.
I'd like that.
But I didn't like the construction of the story. You know,
Okay.
I didn't really connect with the characters. I was like, oh, okay, this has happened to you, but I don't really care. So.
But would that have been different if you'd lost a sibling? Because, like, you can't. I don't feel like you can fully relate to a person's character unless there's experiences that you've shared.
Well, maybe, yeah, that definitely would help. But at the same time, if a book is well written, you're
drawn in regardless. Yeah, I guess. But then the rest says, a heartbreaking, heart-lifting, utterly compelling, and completely unforgettable novel about first love and first loss. I have a feeling it would end up as second loss near the end, though. Maybe. No spoilers.
I kind of want to give you a spoiler.
No, no spoilers. But funnily enough, this author has written I'll Give You the Sun.
Have you read that one?
I have, yeah. So here's another book that's on that list there. Is by Emery Lord. Looks like Emery Lord.
I guess, yeah.
But anyway, the cover's really nice. Very vibrant and artsy. And the book's called When We Collided. So at the front at the top it says, can you fall in love when you're falling apart? I feel like we're definitely on a theme here.
It started with the universe, but definitely going more towards
depression, hopelessness, the black hole of hopelessness.
Right.
I feel like there's somebody somewhere that is binge reading depressing literature. Anyway, so the back of the book says, 17-year-old Jonah Daniels has lived in Verona Cove, California his whole life, and only one thing has changed. His father used to be alive.
See,
And now he's not. Reeling from the tragedy, Jonah must take care of his family. It's a lot for only 17-year-old, I'd say. Enter Vivi Alexander. Is that Vivi? V-I-V-I? Vivi? Vivi Alexander. New girl in town. She's gonna be trouble. Vivi is in love with life. A gorgeous, unfiltered hurricane of thoughts and feelings. She transforms Jonah's family and changes his life. But, because there's always going to be a but with young adult novels these days, nothing's ever happy, but there are always consequences when worlds collide.
Oh gosh. I don't know, sounds really pretentious to be honest.
So the next one is called Problem with Forever, and it's by Jennifer L. Armentrout, who is a #1 New York Times bestselling author.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, so... Right, so the front of the...
I see another
theme
with the covers.
The book covers, right? They're very vibrant and watercolory, maybe? White background, very vibrant blues, pinks, purples.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely...
We already know what sells then, so deaf and watercolor.
Yeah. So, the description says, from #1 New York Times bestseller author Jennifer L. Armentrout comes a deeply powerful and emotional story about struggling to overcome your past and find where you belong. Sounds like my life story. When Mallory was a kid, she was bounced from horrible foster home to horrible foster home. At 13, a terrible accident got her removed from the group home where she was living to a hospital where she met the parents that would adopt her. But when she starts a new school and encounters an old friend from the foster system, sparks start to fly.
I thought you were going to say the name of the character was Sparks.
It's based on my life story.
Yeah.
It's not.
Alright. That doesn't really say much, does it? So you have like a...
It's very ambiguous.
Yeah, like a kid who's in foster care, like...
Doesn't get on with other foster kids, maybe.
There's
been an accident. God, see, here's another one that will go with our theme.
But like in the end, that blurb doesn't tell you much, does it? It's like...
Well, it wasn't really a blurb though. It's not like it was the back of the book, because it wasn't. So the next one, it's got a sticker on it saying, for readers of John Green. And that's a quote by Fresh Fiction. I feel like John Green is like the pedestal that everyone's put John Green on a pedestal, and everyone else is trying to live up to John Green instead of being their own sort of person. But anyway, back to the book. So the book is by Adi Al-Said.
I'm gonna be really horrible here and said, when I looked like over and saw the cover, I read quickly and I read Adi Salad.
So did I.
You're gonna understand.
You will understand when we put the picture in. But it says, never, always, sometimes.
That's the title of the book. Okay.
Yeah. So it sounds kind of interesting, I guess.
Mm.
So the back says, never date your best friend. We started off on the wrong foot then.
Yeah, let's go.
Always be original. Sometimes rules are meant to be broken.
Okay.
So best friends Dave and Julia were determined to never be cliches.
Too late already, because this book sounds cliche as fuck.
Don't swear!
Sorry.
So they even wrote their own never list of everything they vowed to never ever do in high school. Let me guess, they ended up doing all of it and more. Some of the rules have been easy to follow.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to stop you there. It's like when your parents says, oh, don't do this, don't do that, but only because they did it when they were young and they know, you know,
that it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Some of the rules have been easy to follow, but Dave has a secret. He's broken rule number 8. Never pine silently after someone for the entirety of high school. It's either that, or break rule number 10. Never date your best friend.
So, guy falls in love with his best friend. Not sure if she's interested or not by that. I'm just hoping it doesn't go to the friend zone.
The friend zone is a ridiculous concept. Dave has followed Julia for as long as he can remember.
Stalker.
So when he suggests they do everything that's on the never list...
See, I don't know.
Wait, stop, I read that wrong. So when she suggests that they do every never on the list, Dave is happy to play along. He even dyes his hair to an unfortunate shade of green. Not green, an unfortunate shade of green.
Well, I can't say much about that, but let's go.
It starts as a joke, but then a funny thing happens. Dave and Julia discover they've actually been missing out on high school and maybe even on love. So yeah, if you want to check those out, we'll put the links to the products from Amazon in the description.
If you read any of them, leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment.
What you thought about it.
Yeah. So we'll link our Goodreads in the description below as well, in case you want to follow us and connect with us that way. Yeah.
Alright.
Good stuff.
See you next time.
Bye.